I kicked off the focus groups by asking people to describe the country in one word, and the words were almost exclusively words that describe division. So people talked about fractured, as you heard the chap in the package just then, two Britons, broken. People feel that we are not a united nation anymore.
And they feel the difference, those who voted to leave and those who voted to remain. The leavers, by and large, think the remainers are rich people.
Yes, they think the Remainers are rich people, and some of the Remainers think that some of the Leavers were stupid and shouldn't have the vote.
Really,
so
literally?
Literally, that is what they said, that they felt that it was about nous, about education, about knowledge, and that, really things might have been better.
What did they think only
vote.
people with degrees should vote or something?
Not necessarily people with degrees, because to be honest, most of the Remainers, the slightly more middle-class people we spoke to in the Midlands themselves wouldn't have had degrees. It's not about that, but it's about nous. Obviously, the whole thing is about haves and have-nots, I think, and it's expressed in many different ways.
And what does that tell you about how it's likely to change? I mean, that is the case today. What might change it, the outcome of the negotiations, presumably?
Yes, I think a little bit. I think what's really interesting now is it's not just the people who voted leave who are willing these Brexit negotiations to succeed. There is generally a view that Brexit means Brexit, that we are where we are, and that we should move forward.
Right, so that's accepted.
Change.
Yes, the focus groups tell you that is accepted.
It's broadly
They don't want
accepted.
another referendum.
The majority. Obviously not everybody. There are some people who are very sad about it, but the majority...
And want another referendum?
The tiny minority want another referendum, but for the majority, no. Brexit means Brexit. We don't want to have that debate again. But what they do want is a clear timetable. They want to know now what is going to happen next and when it's going to happen, and they want to have that laid out in front of them. And they're starting to feel a little bit frustrated that this change is not going to happen quickly enough. Maybe it won't happen at all.
And what's the change they most want?
The change they most want, as we heard in the package, actually is immigration, which, as it's been for some time, it remains the root of all evils in a lot of people's minds. So when they talk about what's wrong with the country, which is public services being stretched, wages being too low, housing being inadequate, a cultural disconnect as well, all of that gets blamed back on immigration.
And it's more that than jobs.
Well, that's part of jobs. So there's a kind of economic subset to it, but they feel that addressing the immigration problem would address that too.